I've had a few comments come back to me, not comments, messages of people saying that the stuff that I taught or shared contributed to their life being saved.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It feels good.
Yeah.
But I always come back to them and I go, that had nothing to do with me, bro. You're the guy who put in the work. You're the guy who sought me out. You're the guy who took what I taught you and either trained it or blended it with something else, and consider the fact that you were just lucky that day, because that's probably what saved your life. Luck, the grace of God, whatever it was. So here's a warning for students. It has to do with credibility and time frame.
Yeah.
A Filipino martial arts instructor could have a student who is an ex-special forces operative who was stabbed and defended himself in theater. Okay. It's also possible that that ex-special forces operative began his Filipino martial arts training after that experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So put two and two together. You cannot therefore use as a badge of honor as an instructor to say, well, I've got a Delta Force student who defended himself against a knife in Iraq. Well, he became your student after that incident. You cannot possibly claim this kind of credit. This happens, bro, all the time. All the time. Some ex-special forces guy will take Wing Chun or FMA post-service and then blend those two together in this like indistinguishable cocktail of instant credibility. It does not work that way, folks. Okay. And this goes for cops. You know what I mean? Like a Filipino martial arts instructor will say, well, one of my students was the chief of police during blah, blah, blah in Baltimore. Okay. Well, when did he start training with you? 2 years ago. Oh, you mean he did that after his service? Like, what are we trying to say here? Right. So I think instructors like to kind of mess around with ingredients of credibility and make a cocktail that makes it seem like, oh, I'm validated because of who my students are. No, who cares? I could just be teaching kids class. I could just be teaching elderly women in walkers. But if what I'm teaching them is relevant, credible, and logical, that trumps whatever shitty cocktail that you're trying to present to people as this magical elixir of credibility.
That one unicorn of a student, yeah, that makes you look good. But the reality is, as we keep coming back to, the 80% of the people that we're going to operate with in regular class or even some of these seminars are the people who aren't necessarily that one super credible source that we can consistently go back to. And it is intellectually and professionally dishonest to say that that unicorn is like this, the pillar of our excellence.
Yeah, I've had a few comments come back to me, not comments, messages of people saying that the stuff that I taught or shared contributed to their life being saved.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It feels good.
Yeah.
But I always come back to them and I go, that had nothing to do with me, bro.
That was all you. You did it.
That has
not you, but them.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with me. I'm glad that you think that way. If you really examine this logically, right? You're the guy who put in the work. You're the guy who sought me out. You're the guy who took what I taught you and either trained it or blended it with something else, and consider the fact that you were just lucky that day, because that's probably what saved your life. Luck, the grace of God, whatever it was, it wasn't the fact that you took one of my seminars or watched one of my videos. And but it still feels good, like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
But because I reject, really, it feels good, I'll get that. But because I really wholeheartedly reject credit, by that same token, I hope if the opposite happens, I can also shed the fact that it wasn't me. I taught you a knife defense that you tried and didn't work and you died. How many classes did we do together, bro? Like that cannot be blamed on me, the technique, the art, the system. Because the number one contributing factor for survival is luck and the specific circumstances of that event.